Hi everyone, this is Satish Kumar, Application Engineer EGS. So every year SOLIDWORKS is coming across with a lot of new enhancements which helps us to make our everyday design even more faster and also even more productive, right? So in today's webinar we are going to cover up the topic of how large assembly design is going to be do even more faster using the enhanced SOLIDWORKS 2019. So this year also we are coming across with a lot of new enhancements. So before getting into the presentation, let me have a look on some overview about the new tools which we introduced in SOLIDWORKS 2019. Yes, it's really awesome, right? So the model what you seen in that video is one of the world leading telescope which is available in the Earth and also as well as the orbit. That is Canada France Hawaii telescope. So every year we are bring up with a lot of new products to showcase our new enhancements in every major version, right? So this year we brought up this model to showcase our enhancement. So in today's presentation we are going to cover up the new enhancement which we brought up in performance, large assembly design review, and also as well as the assembly delighters and the newly introduced CLOT feature to safe and secure your intellectual property. So every year actually SOLIDWORKS is working on even more to improve the performance while if you're working with large assemblies. So compared to the previous version, this year also we are enhanced those performance even more a little bit faster. So if you're working with large assemblies, so without any delays and also without need to wait for opening the assembly or edit the assembly, you can able to work along with your assembly even more faster and even more productive. So let we have a look on it. Yes, so in the display you can able to see here, this is actually one of the power plant assembly layout. So you can able to see here it contains around more than 5,000 components included in this assembly. So without any delay you can able to drag around the model, and also if you want to see any detail or if you want to see any interior parts of your assembly, so without any lagging or any delay you can able to see the entire model even more faster. So you don't want to get into the large assembly mode to view these files and also to rotate these files. So even if you can enable the real view and also the graphics without much delay, you can able to see the real clarity of your entire model, even the appearance and also even the shadows without affecting any time while if you are opening the assembly and also while if you are working the assembly, right? So the graphics performance boost is also gets increased to make boost your large assembly design even more productive. right? So with this, I hope you can able to work along with your assemblies without any delays, and also you can get a smoother, more responsive, and also the real-time visualization of your entire assembly even more faster. So you can able to improve your performance of your assembly if you are working with large assembly. It contains which it's more than 2000 or 3000 components. So actually these large design review which we brought up in 2012 for the purpose of interrogate our entire assembly instantly. So you can able to work along with your large assembly without much delay. You can open this assembly in within seconds, right? So this also be enhanced in SOLIDWORKS 2019. So let me have a look on it. Yes. So for example, I'll open up the same assembly in large design review mode. So in the previous version, you can able to do only the options what you seen in the top of the area. Maybe you can open the components, and also you can measure the distance, create cross sections to interrogate the model. So in 2019, it also enhanced to even more capabilities inside the large design review mode. That is, you can able to insert any components. If you want to delete any components, you can delete that, and you can also able to do changes in your mates inside the large design review mode. So if for example a scenario, you can imagine you can showcase this entire model with your managing director or your higher authority to interrogate the model even more faster. So this is what the purpose of large design review mode, right? So in additional to that, in SOLIDWORKS 2019 you are getting an option to edit this assembly. So for example, if in case if you want to replace or if you want to change any components or any assembly inside this large design review mode, that is possible in SOLIDWORKS 2019. So this is actually one of the most inquired enhancement from a lot of our customers. If it is a capability to do modification inside our large design review mode, it will be helpful to make any changes inside this assembly. So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of the sub assembly which I make modified and the latest version of the files inside my large design review mode, so that you can able to add or delete any components inside this large assembly mode, and also you can able to add or delete any mates. That is also possible inside this area, right? So for example, if you want to make any position mates, or if you want to add or replace any components inside this large design review mode, those kind of things can be able to done. So for example, I just want to hide or show some components for to make detail of that assembly. So those kind of things I can able to done inside this large assembly, large design review mode. So even if you don't want any sub assemblies, or if you don't want any detailed components, you can able to delete it or add any components, so without much delay in your performance, right? So with this, actually you can able to get the benefit of work along with your large design review mode, and also the large assemblies even more faster, and also these new tools will be really helpful for you to make editing in your assembly without getting any delay. And also most of the people is spending much time to create the assemblies and also do modification in the assemblies, right? So this enhancement is especially for you, the assembly delighter. So it makes you to do your entire assembly, and also it makes you to do any modification or creation of assemblies even more faster with the new enhancement which we introduced in SOLIDWORKS 2019. So that is, you can able to group your mates to get better understanding about the mates, and also the exploded view. So the animation is 1000 times better than the image, right? So that exploded views also gets some enhanced to make it even more clarity to the collaborative suppliers or vendors. So let me have a look on it. So for example, I'll open this subassembly. So you can able to see here around in this subassembly it contains only 11 to 12 components, but it contains around more than 100 plus mates inside this mate folder, right? So for example, what I want to do is I just want to identify some mates which is having the problem inside my assembly. So I just want to drag around the mates folder, and I need to manually search the problematic mates, and then only I can able to do some modifications, right? So in SolidWorks 2019 we introduced a new tool that is group mates. So you can able to group your entire mates either by status or by separate the fasteners. So if you group the mates, you can able to see some attractive folders is created inside this mates area. So it contains solved mates and also the error mates which cause the problem inside my mates inside my assembly, right? So and also even if you suppress or unsuppress any components, if you suppress any mates, it also creates an additional folder to that which is suppressed. So these kind of things will be really helpful for me to understand and also to clarify my entire assembly and also its constraints even more faster. So if any problem occurs in the mates, I can able to easily find out and replace those things even more faster, right? So and also as like I said, if you are working with assemblies, large assemblies, the exploded view is one of the key communication to share or explain about my entire assembly, right? So which we already have. So for example, let me have a look on the animation of how the each components will dismantle from this assembly. So this is one of the nice way to explore our assembly with our shop floor people, and also for to make a presentation purpose, right? So what we enhanced in SolidWorks 2019 is, as like your SolidWorks Future Manager, you can able to roll back the exploded steps which you really don't need to explain. So and also it is not only limited to that, you can able to customize your exploded steps even more productive. For example, I just want to replace or rearrange any exploded steps in the previous version. I need to manually delete and create the exploded steps, right? So for example, in 2019 I can able to easily drag and drop my exploded steps whenever I need and wherever I need. So and also inside the exploded future, you can also able to add any exploded steps which you really want to add in between any steps, and also you can able to rename it as the box removal. So this is also one of the attractive thing which we can draw up in SolidWorks 2090. So you can able to add any kind of exploded steps inside your exploded view which you already done, right? So even if you don't want any exploded steps, you can also able to suppress those exploded steps to give some better understanding about your assembly. So and once if we done this entire assembly, this year also we are brought up with some more additional file format to collaborate this assembly. So in the previous version we are having only two types of save as file format. So now it is extended up to MP4 or MKV and also the FLD player to communicate your files without any restrictions, right? So I hope these enhancements will give you some more time saver to while if you're working with large assemblies, and also it is even more productive to work along with your assembly in a high quality with a high quality deliverables, right? So obviously if you are working with large assembly, to open that assembly the much time take, the reason behind is it contains a lot of features. So every feature will get loaded while if you are opening that entire assembly, right? So to eliminate those much time while opening your large assembly, this year we are brought up with one of the excellent enhancement which is Celebrity Defuture. So Defuture is already a known tool to all of you which is helpful to remove the features of your model to make this assembly dumb to share along with any third party. to secure and save our intellectual property, this will be most probably useful. So now this deep feature is extended up to the assembly level to make your entire assembly even more faster by removing all the unnecessary features and also to make your model dumb to secure your intellectual property while before sharing with the third party, right? So let me have a look on it, how it is going to be helpful for me to do that. So for example, I'll open one of the sub-assembly from my power plant. So in this sub-assembly, you can able to see there are around 10-12 different components. So what I want to do is I just want to share the sub-assembly with my suppliers or with any third party. So if I share the original file, maybe there is a chance to duplicate this assembly, and also it is taking much time to open in the customer place or in the third party place. So without affecting those kind of time delays, you can able to use this assembly deep features to save and secure your model and also to open your entire assembly even more faster. So in this, what I want to do is the user environment is very simple and also it's very intuitive to use. So it contains around lots of simplification methods. So it is not limited to any specific simplification method. It contains around 4 different kind of simplification methods. So you can able to simplify it into either a cylinder shape, and also you can able to visible only the polygon outline of your entire assembly, or as well as tight fit outline. So for example, what I want to do here is I don't want to make any changes in the specific part. So I can directly add the selected parts into the group, and also instantly I'll get some attractive preview of the window once if I defeature this model, how the end model looks like. So and I need these 2 blocks needs to be in a cylinder shape. I just select the models what I want to defeature and I select the simplification method and I add it into the group. So instantly I'll get the instant preview to view whether the defeatured model is properly right, or is it okay for me or not. And also this tight fit outline will doesn't make any changes in your model. It will only replace, or it will only make simplify your features in your most complex parts, and also the most features contains parts into the simplified model, right? So and also I need these case pump into the tight fit outline. With for this, actually what you want to do is you just want to specify the location plane or the orientation plane to add it into the group. So instantly you can able to look on to the output assembly, and also you can, if you want to make any modification in the group which you already created, that is also possible whenever you need it. So once if you done finish this defeature, you can also able to have the option to save these files into the new document, which you can also able to link it to the original document. So whenever there is a change in your original document, so that also will get directly updated in the defeatured model what you created. And also if it is also possible to directly publish your model into the 3D content central, and also you can able to store these kind of settings for your future use. So whenever you are doing this defeature, you don't want to every time give the settings what I provide, maybe as like the simplification method and everything. So for example, I'll save this model in desktop. Yeah, fine. So once if you done this, you can get the attractive simplified models by securing and save your intellectual property without affecting much time. So it contains the group, you can able to see here, it suppress all the features which is unnecessary for me while if I share this model with the third party, right? So like this, you can also able to simplify your entire assembly to work along with your large assembly even more faster without much delay while opening the assembly, or while if you are getting into the edit into the assembly. So and also whenever you need as like I said, you can able to unhide or show the components inside this large design review mode itself. So obviously this is one of the most time saver for me, and also you can able to simplify your assembly. You can save and secure your intellectual property to avoid the duplication, and also to avoid the error prone process while if you are dealing with large assemblies, right? So I hope these four things will be really helpful to do your large assembly design even more productive and also even more faster. So hereafter you don't want to worry about the assembly performance and also the assembly delayness while if you're opening large assembly, while if you're dealing with large assembly. You can simply work along with your huge assemblies even more productive, as like your simple parts are simple assemblies, right? So maybe if you have any doubts and clarification regarding this presentation, you can feel free to contact us through the mail and also the contact what you seen in the screen. So if you keep on watching, so you can keep on watching this to see the new enhancement which you brought up in 2019 in the upcoming webinar. So keep watching our blog, so you can able to see our blog inside our website www.egsindia.com. So thank you for attending this webinar. Thank you.